To call tonight's In the Sulky guest an up-and-comer in the sport of harness racing might be just a little bit of an upset. After all, he is the reigning Big D's Trainer of the Week, and out on his own for just 2 years, he's experienced an incredible amount of success. Of course, we're talking about Tony Alagna. Tony, thanks for taking a little bit of time out of what has to be a very, very busy week to join us, and just give us a little idea of what your first 2 years out on your own as a trainer have been. Did you ever think you'd have this many horses to manage and have this much success so fast?
Well, I knew when I got started that with the people that were behind me and the support that I had, that the success would come. I didn't know that it would come like it has this year with the number that I have. Right now we're training 60 horses, have some really nice stuff coming, and it's been great. It's been really good.
Yeah, definitely it has been fun for us to watch your rising, so to speak, and it's been a joy to watch some of the horses that you've brought to us here at the Big M, a couple of which we're going to look at in just a moment. But not everybody out there realizes just how much work is involved in managing your business. I mean, you are an independent contractor and you deal with multiple owners. You've got a lot of horses, you've got shipping issues, you've got entries at different tracks. How do you handle all that?
I couldn't do it without the staff that I have. I mean, my staff is amazing. They make sure things get done. I can send them to race. If I'm not there, I know that they're doing the same job that would be done if I was there watching. A lot of management. My mom does all the book work. She makes sure the licenses are taken care of. She makes sure that starting fees are paid. All that's taken care of. So it's just a lot of management, getting up in the morning, sitting down, making sure that everything's in line for the rest of your day.
Now, not only do you race horses during the day and sometimes race horses at night here, but we've also got at this time of year, we have baby races, we have qualifiers here at the Meadowlands. That's always Thursday morning. Now, I wasn't able to be here yesterday morning, but I scanned the results like I normally do, and I see that you drove one. So tell us why you drove, and tell us why, if you've ever wanted to actually be a driver.
I actually, back in the day when I was working for Brian Penske, I used to drive quite a bit. When him and I would have an entry in a race, I would drive one and he would drive the other. And the filly that I drove yesterday, if I didn't care, very precocious filly. She come out here, she won good. We sent her to Canada. She won right off the bat. She was involved in the accident with Mark McDonald, and she just had a bad experience up there, and I didn't want that stigma to be attached to her. I didn't want to put a catch driver up that thought, she was going to be in danger of falling. I thought, I'll drive her myself. So I've driven her twice and got 2 good experiences in her, and I'm going to put her in Thursday night.
All right, so let's say you put Yannick Gingras down to drive, and that night you're in the paddock and you're about to hand Yannick the lines. He's going to look at the program and say, wow, this must be some filly. You drove her and won.
I tell everybody all the time, I said, after yesterday, I said, I sat last a quarter and 30 seconds. Don't tell me you can't take her off the gate.
No question about that. And sometimes it is hard for these guys to definitely tell drivers what to do. They don't necessarily always like that, but it's so important with young horses as well. Now, last night we got to watch one of the fillies that you train. Her name is Beautiful in Blue. She had another good start last night, but she won last week, and she's owned by the Desperate Horsewives stable. It's a great story. I want you to tell us how it came about.
When I went to Harrisburg 2 years ago, I saw a sister to Blue Shark, who is a horse that we thought a lot of that unfortunately we lost. And there was American Ideal sister to him selling. She was an immature filly, but I thought I'll take a shot if she sells for the right price. So we bought her for $24,000. I bought her with nobody in mind for. I put my money up, and I thought, this would be a filly that I ought to ask Stephanie Bell, Myron Bell's wife, if she'd be interested in looking at, and let her buy part of the filly. So she bought 10%. And it kind of clicked for both of us. I said, let's ask John Federa's wife, Barbara, if she'd be interested. And it just snowballed from there. Cindy Stewart owns 10%. Dr. Egloff's wife, Judy, owns 10%. My mom owns 10%. Jody Siamis from Iowa. I mean, the list goes on. And it's just been a lot of fun.
Wow, it certainly has. And obviously, she's really turned things around so far in her 3-year-old season. So we look forward to promoting that story maybe a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Moving on to another 2-year-old that is really the heart of the matter here. In your stable right now resides what could be one of the most dynamic and exciting 2-year-old pacers that all of us handicappers have ever seen. His name is Mel Mera, and if you didn't see him race here last week, Tony, tell us exactly what kind of colt this is, because obviously you've broken him. Is he anything like his sire, and when did you know he was something special?
Well, to watch the horse go and to watch his sire, I mean, it's almost deja vu. I mean, this horse has so many characteristics of his sire. Lismar was a great horse. This horse has all the tools to be a great horse. It's just a matter of, where his path takes him. So we're very excited about him. He was very professional last week when he won, even though he got interfered with around the last turn. He went after a target after that happened, and we're very excited to what the future holds for him.
Okay, now he's in tomorrow night to go in a race that we would call, I guess, the Woodrow Wilson Prep. Tell us what his schedule might be like for the rest of the season after tomorrow night.
After tomorrow night, our main concern tomorrow night is to have another good go in him. He's not eligible to the Niatros. He'll have next week off. Then he goes into the Woodrow Wilson eliminations. Everything goes well. Hopefully, he'll go Woodrow Wilson final, and then he goes to Canada for the Metro. So, looking down the road, that's his schedule if everything falls into place like it should.
All right, these 2-year-olds nowadays, they go so fast. Please tell us what your key is to try and getting them ready for those, really quick miles.
I think that the key to it is having the foundation. If you don't have the foundation, then you don't have to worry about the fast miles. If you put the miles into a horse, when you call on him, if it's there, and he'll show it. But I don't think that training them at home to go big miles or big tail end, has as much validity as just putting the leg work and letting them be what they're going to be. So, and that's basically what this horse has done.
Okay, I want to transition into another one of your stake stars, although I guarantee this one's a little bit more work. You won a second straight sire stakes with a trotting filly by the name of Tawsome Moore here, but she doesn't look like she does it pretty easy. You've got your work cut out with her, don't you?
She's a very, very talented filly who just has, she's a very weak filly. So, one of the reasons that we're racing her Jersey sires, and we've really picked and chose our spots because the key to her has been management. And I mean, Andy's been great. He's gotten along with her very well. He's made a couple suggestions on her, that's really helped her to be a little bit more manageable. If she was a bigger, stronger filly, she could take on the world, but she's not that filly. So, the key to her is strictly management.
Yeah, that was my next question. She is or was eligible to the Hambletonian Oaks. What goes into that decision-making as to not enter her in this occasion?
For a filly like her, we've worked so hard to get her to where we have her, and to have to take her off Lasix to race her in the Hambo Oaks is just not in the best interest of this particular filly. I mean, I believe there's other horses that you can take them off of Lasix, race them in the Hambo or the Hambo Oaks, for that 2 weeks, but I don't think this is the kind of filly that would benefit her in the long run.
Okay, very good explanation as to why she is not in the Hambletonian Oaks. Pretty different night tonight. You've only got one starter in as compared to last night when you had 6. It's Meredith McGuire in race 8. She's raced here at the Big M a couple of times. She's raced her eyeballs out so far. How'd you get her?
She came down from Canada the 1st of February. She'd been rested. She came down and for us to get her back ready along with All Tiger Inn, who won here as well. And when they sent the mare down to me, they said this mare could be anything. She's a mare that beat Dream Fair Eternal in Canada. She just came over from New Zealand. She had only been in the country a couple months when she beat her. She had a slight injury. They said if you bring this mare back and she comes back well, she can do it all. So I was really, really impressed with the move that she made last week. She was parked every step of the way out of the 10-hole, and she had a lot of fight in her all the way down and to the wire. And when Ronnie Pierce came back, he said, "What a nice mare." And I said, "She gives everything. She gives it all."
She sure did, and she has proven that so far, as have you in your 2-year training career out on your own. So, ladies and gentlemen, our thanks to Tony Alagna for taking a little time out of his schedule to join us on In the Sulky tonight. Good luck with Meredith McGuire tonight, and even more so with Mel Mera tomorrow. Hope you don't need it, and hope he has an exciting stakes campaign. Coming up next, Bob Hayden will be back in the air chair as we preview tonight's eliminations for the Peter Houghton and the Mary Annabelle.